endorsement of arbitrations and the delivery of missing documents to prove 21 COT cases. This was the promise given by the government to small business owners and citizens of Australia, with the condition that they would stop pressing the government for a Senate investigation.
A COT case we started, it was transcribed from casualties of Telstra. But it became casualties of Telstra because we took Telstra to court in an arbitration, the Court of Arbitration, because they couldn't supply us with a phone service.
An investigation trying to uncover structural and service faults in the government-owned Telstra network.
My name is Alan Smith. I bought my business in Portland in 1987, and within 2 to 3 weeks I realised I had a phone problem.
Welcome to Cape Bridgewater. Accommodation is available at the large, well-equipped Cape Bridgewater holiday camp. Accommodation is basically laid out in individual cabins. The largest of these is separated into 6 rooms and accommodates up to 50 persons.
With accommodation, each call comes into the business and books the accommodation. So if you go to ring a hotel today and you can't get into that hotel, you go to the next one. The government promised us that if we wouldn't keep pressuring the Senate to investigate our matters, then we would go into arbitration until all of the phone problems were fixed. And that was a promise given to all of the casualties of Telstra, all the COT cases.
Assured that arbitration rulings and settlements could not be brought down if phone connectivity issues were still ongoing.
Once we got into arbitration and we signed confidentiality agreements that we don't discuss what was going on in the arbitrations, we weren't allowed to then tell the public our problems were ongoing. So that caused further costs to our business, and people lost their businesses as they went along.
However, only 5 of the 21 COT cases received their promised documents and punitive damages.
78 years of age, and if I'd have got settled properly in 1995 with my arbitration, I'd have had 24 years of better life with my partner. I'd have still owned my business and I wouldn't have gone through this. But it's not just an Alan Smith story.
The remaining 16 COT cases did not receive their promised documents, punitive damages, or even have their phone problems fixed.
16 other COT cases out of the 21 that has still not been resolved. And yet their senators have been promised that if they could pass this motion, or if they pass this motion, they will settle us COT cases.
This was 25 years ago. The government, knowing how dilapidated the state-owned communication carriers network was, wanted to sell it, to privatise it.
It was massive. It was internationally, and we had uncovered it in Australia, and it had to be shut up.
This website exposes how corruption and the deceit within the Australian government covered up these unaddressed phone problems.
And that's a Swedish company infiltrated the Australian legal process of arbitration and bought the witness. They purchased the very man that was put in charge of investigating the Ericsson AXE phone problems.
And what Telstra's board and executives were allowed to do to these 16 business owners before and after privatisation.
Ericsson got off scot-free and Telstra got off scot-free, and the problems continued. All of that is in my book on casualties of Telstra, and all that information is online.